Imagine descending into this immense hidden space. The world you know, the world of light and air, disappears within moments. You are entering a domain governed by entirely different rules, a place where our terrestrial logic no longer applies. The pressure mounts with every meter you fall, a relentless force squeezing from all directions. The temperature plummets, approaching the freezing point of water. It is a hostile environment, one that our own biology is fundamentally unequipped to handle. Yet, against all odds, this seemingly uninhabitable void is teeming with life, a testament to nature's incredible ingenuity and resilience in the face of unimaginable challenges. We often look to the stars for signs of extraterrestrial life, for beings that have evolved under conditions far different from our own. We build powerful telescopes and send probes into the cosmos, searching for answers in distant galaxies. But right here, on our home planet, an alien world exists. It is a place of profound darkness, inhabited by creatures so bizarre they seem to have sprung from the depths of our imagination. These organisms have evolved in complete isolation from the sunlit world, developing unique and extraordinary ways to navigate, hunt, and survive in an environment that would instantly destroy us. This documentary is a journey into that profound abyss. We will explore the very limits of life on Earth, discovering how creatures not only endure, but thrive under pressures that can crush steel. We will witness the miracle of existence in a world without sunlight, where life has found a way to create its own light. This is a story of survival against impossible odds, an exploration of the deep ocean's darkest corners. It is an invitation to witness the relentless power of evolution and the quiet, determined pulse of life that persists in the most extreme corners of our planet. The ocean's surface is a boundary between two worlds. As we descend, pressure becomes the dominant force. For every 10 meters down, pressure increases by 1 atmosphere. In the abyss, pressure becomes astronomical, compressing solid objects and altering the chemistry of life. This crushing force is the ultimate barrier to exploration. Yet, life has adapted, incorporating the pressure into its very being. Abyssal creatures have evolved without air pockets, with flexible bones and water-filled tissues. They show us that survival is about finding harmony with the forces that surround you. In this world of darkness and pressure, a quiet miracle unfolds. The creatures of the abyss are masters of adaptation, their bodies sculpted by extreme conditions. They find food in emptiness and breathe with very little oxygen. Oxygen is scarce, so they've evolved efficient respiratory systems. Movement is minimal to conserve calories. Many are ambush hunters, like the anglerfish. The deep abyss is a story of profound innovation, challenging what life needs to exist. Life adapts in ways that are both beautiful and bizarre. The ocean is a world of distinct layers defined by sunlight, temperature, and pressure. We journey through these zones, each a unique environment. This is a passage from light and warmth to eternal cold and darkness. As we travel deeper, the ocean changes dramatically. Sunlight fades and the rules of survival are rewritten. We travel from the sunlight zone down into the twilight zone. Below that lies the midnight zone, a realm of perpetual darkness. Deeper still are the abyssopelagic and hadal zones, chasms of extreme pressure. Each zone presents new challenges and evolutionary marvels. Understanding this structure unlocks the secrets of the abyss. It provides the map we need to navigate this alien world. Our journey begins in the epipelagic zone, the sunlit surface layer of the ocean. Extending to 200 meters, this is a world of vibrant coral reefs, fast-moving schools of fish, and majestic marine mammals. Sunlight penetrates the water, fueling photosynthesis. Phytoplankton use this solar energy to create food, forming the base of a vast food web. The organic matter created here falls like marine snow, sustaining hidden ecosystems in the darkness. As we cross the 200-meter mark, we leave behind more than 90% of the ocean's life and enter a place where the rules are fundamentally different. The abundance of the surface gives way to scarcity, the light gives way to shadow. We descend into the mesopelagic zone, or twilight zone, stretching from 200 to 1,000 meters. Sunlight is faint, casting eerie silhouettes. Creatures here are masters of camouflage, where predators and prey play a deadly game. Many have enormous sensitive eyes. Others are transparent, red or silver. It's an evolutionary arms race with light and shadow. Every night, small fish and crustaceans migrate up to feed, returning before dawn. Bioluminescence is crucial here, used for communication, camouflage, and predation. It's the final outpost of the sunlit world. Crossing the 1,000-meter mark, we leave the last vestiges of sunlight behind. We have now entered the bathypelagic zone, the midnight zone. From this point down to 4,000 meters, the darkness is absolute and eternal. The only light that exists here is the light that living creatures produce themselves. The water temperature is near freezing, hovering at a stable but frigid 4 degrees Celsius. The pressure is immense, starting at over 100 atmospheres and increasing with every meter we descend. This is the beginning of the true abyss, a vast, cold, and dark expanse that constitutes the largest single habitat on our planet. Life in the midnight zone is sparse and profoundly strange. The creatures here have evolved in complete isolation from the sun, and their forms reflect the extreme nature of their world. Food is incredibly scarce, mostly consisting of the marine snow drifting down from the productive layers far above. To survive, the inhabitants have developed metabolisms that are exceptionally slow, allowing them to conserve energy and endure long periods without a meal. Many are little more than a mouth and a stomach designed for maximum efficiency in capturing any morsel of food that happens to pass by, like the fearsome-looking but lethargic anglerfish. The organisms of the bathypelagic have bodies that are fundamentally different from those in the upper ocean. They have no need for streamlined shapes to chase prey, as energy is too precious to waste on pursuit. Many are gelatinous, their bodies composed mostly of water, which helps them remain neutrally buoyant without expending energy. Their bones are soft and cartilaginous, and their flesh is flaccid, as there is no need for strong muscle mass in this slow-motion world. They are perfectly adapted to a life of patience, waiting in the crushing, silent darkness for a rare opportunity to feed and survive. This is a realm where the familiar rules of biology seem to break down. Eyes are often small and non-functional, or they have disappeared entirely, replaced by other sensory systems that can detect movement or chemical trails in the water. Bioluminescence is no longer just an advantage, it is a primary language for attracting mates, luring prey, and startling predators. In the endless, featureless black of the midnight zone, these cold, living sparks are the stars, constellations, and signals of a hidden, silent universe. It is here, in this profound darkness, that we begin to witness the most extreme solutions to the problem of survival. As we plunge deeper into the abyss, the most dominant and unforgiving force is the pressure. It is a constant, crushing weight that shapes every aspect of life. At the surface, we live under one atmosphere of pressure. By the time we reach the bottom of the midnight zone at 4,000 meters, the pressure has increased to over 400 atmospheres. This is equivalent to the weight of a freight train balanced on your fingertip. At these depths, any air-filled space would be instantly and catastrophically obliterated. This is why the creatures of the deep are fundamentally different from us on a cellular level. To survive, Deep-sea organisms have evolved to be largely incompressible. Unlike terrestrial animals or even surface-dwelling fish, they have no air-filled cavities like lungs or swim bladders that would collapse under the immense pressure. Their bodies are composed almost entirely of water, which, being a liquid, is nearly impossible to compress. Their tissues are permeated with water, and their internal pressure is perfectly equalized with the external pressure of the surrounding sea. They do not fight the pressure, they exist in harmony with it. For them, this crushing force is simply a normal, essential part of their world. This adaptation extends to the very molecules that make up their bodies. High pressure can distort and disable the complex proteins and enzymes that are essential for life's chemical reactions. To counteract this, deep-sea creatures have evolved unique, pressure-resistant proteins. They also produce small organic molecules called piezolites, which permeate their cells and help stabilize their proteins, preventing them from being bent out of shape. These biochemical adaptations are the invisible armor of the deep, allowing life's machinery to function flawlessly under conditions that would grind ours to a halt. It is a solution written in the language of chemistry. The challenge this pressure poses for exploration is monumental. A submarine descending to these depths must be a fortress, its hull engineered from the strongest steel or titanium alloys to resist being buckled like a tin can. Every viewport, every seal, every weld must be perfect, as even a microscopic flaw could lead to a catastrophic implosion. The immense power of the deep is a constant reminder of our own physical fragility. While the creatures of the abyss have effortlessly adapted to this force, we can only visit as heavily armored guests, peering out from within our fragile, pressurized shells. The very existence of the abyss stands as a testament to the limits of human endurance. Our biology is finely tuned for a world of one atmosphere of pressure, abundant oxygen, and gentle temperatures. We are creatures of the surface, and without technology, the deep sea is more hostile to us than the vacuum of space. A human diver, even with the most advanced scuba gear, is limited to a few hundred feet. Beyond that, the pressure becomes lethal, causing gases in our blood to become toxic and our air-filled lungs to collapse. Our bodies are simply not built for the vertical world of the ocean. To breach this barrier, we have had to rely on our ingenuity, building machines to carry us where our bodies cannot go. The history of deep-sea exploration is a story of technological innovation, a constant battle against the crushing pressure. Early attempts in simple diving bells gave way to armored bathyspheres, tethered to a ship on the surface. These were then replaced by free-moving submersibles like Alvin and more recently the Deep-Sea Challenger, vessels designed to be our proxies in this alien environment. These submersibles are marvels of engineering, essentially armored capsules that maintain 1 atmosphere of pressure inside while withstanding hundreds on the outside. Even with these incredible machines, our presence in the deep is fleeting and fraught with risk. The immense pressure puts an enormous strain on materials, and the potential for equipment failure is a constant concern. This is why much of modern deep-sea exploration is conducted by unmanned, remotely operated vehicles, or ROVs. These robotic explorers can stay at depth for days at a time, sending back high-definition video and collecting samples with their manipulator arms, all while their human pilots remain safely on a ship at the surface. They are our eyes and hands in a world we can barely touch. The abyss, therefore, is defined not only by its physical characteristics but also by its profound inaccessibility to us. We have mapped the surface of Mars with greater detail than we have mapped our own ocean floor. This is not for a lack of trying, but a direct consequence of the immense physical challenges involved. The crushing pressure, the absolute darkness, and the sheer scale of the deep ocean make it the last truly unknown frontier on our planet. It is a world that fiercely guards its secrets, reminding us that for all our technological prowess, there are still parts of our own home that remain beyond our easy reach. In the profound darkness of the abyss, far from the sun-drenched surface, life faces a fundamental challenge: how to breathe in a place desperately poor in oxygen. For the creatures that dwell here, every molecule of oxygen is a treasure. This scarcity creates an oxygen paradox. The abyss is the largest habitat, yet one of the most challenging. They have developed masterpieces of biological engineering capable of extracting the faintest traces of oxygen. The story of breathing in the darkness is a story of quiet, metabolic genius, where every breath is a carefully metered dose of fuel. Their adaptations are a profound lesson in how life can flourish by embracing scarcity. The most widespread adaptation for survival in the low-oxygen deep sea is a deliberately slow pace of life. In a world where energy is limited, the inhabitants are masters of conservation. Their metabolism runs at an incredibly low rate, a highly evolved survival strategy. Many deep-sea animals are masters of stillness, waiting for a meal or a mate. With a slower metabolism comes a slower rate of aging. The Greenland shark lives for over 400 years, making it the longest living vertebrate. The art of slow living is the foundational rule for life in the deep. This principle of doing less to achieve more is the quiet genius of the abyss. The anglerfish embodies the deep-sea strategy of energy conservation. This midnight zone inhabitant is fearsome, yet passive. The anglerfish has perfected ambush predation, requiring almost no energy. It makes the prey come to it. Its bioluminescent lure dangles from a modified dorsal fin spine positioned just in front of its cavernous mouth. This esca is filled with light-producing bacteria, creating a cold, ghostly glow. In the void, this light is an irresistible beacon for smaller fish. The anglerfish remains motionless, its dark body blending in. It waits, its jaws ready to snap shut. This is the cornerstone of its low-energy lifestyle. Its body is little more than a floating stomach and a mouth. This allows it to hang suspended, waiting patiently. When it eats, its expandable stomach allows it to consume prey even larger than itself. The anglerfish's life is one of profound patience. Its entire biology is geared towards energy efficiency. It is a living example that in the deep abyss, success belongs to the patient. In the twilight and midnight zones drifts a creature of legend, a ghost of the deep, the giant squid. With deep-sea exploration, we're piecing together the life of this enigmatic animal. Unlike ambush predators, the giant squid is a slow, deliberate hunter. Cruising through the dark water with minimal effort, it uses efficient jet propulsion. It has 3 hearts and powerful gills to maximize oxygen extraction. Its blue, copper-based blood is effective at transporting oxygen in cold, low-pressure environments. This allows it to be a formidable predator, even taking on large fish in the crushing darkness. The giant squid's adaptations allow this magnificent animal to thrive as a deep-sea apex predator. Venturing to the very floor of the abyss, in the bathypelagic and abyssopelagic zones, we find an ancient and resilient survivor, the deep-sea isopod. These creatures, which can grow to startling sizes in a phenomenon known as deep-sea gigantism, look like colossal versions of the common woodlouse or pillbug found in our gardens. They are bottom-dwelling scavengers, playing a crucial role as the cleanup crew of the deep. Their survival strategy is one of extreme patience and incredible resilience, built around a metabolism that operates on an almost geological timescale, allowing them to endure the harsh realities of life on the ocean floor. The world of the deep-sea isopod is, honestly, one of profound scarcity. Food arrives unpredictably, consisting of the marine snow that settles from above or, on rare occasions, the sunken carcass of a large animal like a whale. When a whale fall occurs, it is a monumental feast, and isopods will gather to gorge themselves, consuming so much that they may become too bloated to move. They have the ability to store this energy for immense periods. With one of the slowest metabolic rates known in the animal kingdom, a single large meal can sustain an isopod for years. In laboratory settings, they have been observed to go without food for over 5 years, a testament to their mastery of energy conservation. This incredibly slow metabolism directly impacts their need for oxygen. By barely moving and having internal processes that run in extreme slow motion, their oxygen demand is minimal. This allows them to thrive on the silty seafloor, where oxygen levels can be even lower than in the surrounding water column, due to the decomposition of organic matter. Their large, plate-like gills are highly efficient at extracting what little oxygen is available, ensuring their survival in this challenging microenvironment. They are living embodiments of the principle that to survive in the deep, one must master the art of waiting. The deep-sea isopod is a living fossil, a design that has remained largely unchanged for millions of years because it is perfectly suited to its stable, unchanging environment. Its armored, segmented body provides protection, while its slow, patient scavenging lifestyle is the ultimate low-energy solution. These creatures are not dynamic or dramatic, but their quiet, enduring presence on the ocean's dark floor is one of the great success stories of the abyss. They teach us that survival is not always about complex adaptations, but sometimes about perfecting a simple, robust strategy and sticking to it for eons. The ultimate secret to breathing in the darkness lies hidden from view, deep within the bodies of these creatures in the very chemistry of their blood. Respiration is a molecular process, and it is at this level that some of the most profound adaptations have occurred. The challenge is not just capturing oxygen from the water with gills, but efficiently transporting it to the cells where it is needed. To achieve this, many deep-sea animals have evolved specialized forms of hemoglobin or other respiratory pigments that are far more effective than those found in their shallow water relatives, a crucial innovation for life in a low-oxygen world. Hemoglobin, the protein that makes our blood red, is responsible for binding to oxygen in the lungs or gills and releasing it to the tissues. The hemoglobin of deep-sea creatures is chemically tuned to have an extremely high affinity for oxygen. This means it can latch onto oxygen molecules very effectively, even when they are present in very low concentrations in the water. This allows the animal to load up on oxygen with every pass of water over its gills, ensuring that no opportunity is missed. It is a molecular magnet for oxygen, a critical advantage when every molecule counts for survival. Furthermore, once the oxygen is captured, it must be used wisely. The blood of these animals is part of a finely calibrated circulatory system that prioritizes delivering oxygen to the most critical organs, such as the brain and the heart, while limiting supply to less essential tissues like muscles during periods of rest. This targeted delivery system ensures that the precious fuel is not wasted. Some creatures, like the vampire squid, can even shut down parts of their metabolism and enter a state of near hibernation to conserve oxygen when it is particularly scarce, showcasing an incredible level of physiological control over their own bodies. With every breath, these creatures defy physics, not with strength, but with precision. Their survival is a triumph of biochemistry. From the slow, deliberate pace of their lives to the specialized molecules coursing through their veins, every adaptation is geared towards solving the fundamental problem of breathing in the void. They are living proof that life's ingenuity is not limited to the visible world of claws and teeth, but extends to the invisible realm of proteins and enzymes. The blood of the abyss is a testament to the power of evolution to find solutions at the smallest of scales to overcome the largest of challenges. The relentless pressure of the deep sea can warp steel and crush bone. The true battle against pressure is fought on the molecular frontier within every living cell. Here, the machinery of life, delicate proteins and membranes, is under constant assault. Imagine a complex, three-dimensional machine made of the softest, most flexible parts. This is what a protein is. The organisms of the abyss have evolved proteins that are inherently more stable and capable of holding their form against the crushing weight of the ocean. Deep-sea organisms incorporate special fats into their cell membranes, maintaining the necessary fluidity even under pressure. This molecular fortitude is the true secret to life in the deep. The strange creatures of the abyss are marvels of biochemistry. Many deep-sea organisms tolerate extreme pressure, but pizza-philes actually require it to survive. These remarkable organisms, mostly bacteria and archaea, thrive because of the pressure. Pizza-philes are found in the deepest parts of the ocean, where pressures can exceed 1,000 atmospheres. Their entire biological machinery has been finely tuned to high-pressure conditions. They form the base of unique ecosystems around hydrothermal vents and cold seeps, harnessing chemical energy. Studying piezophiles is challenging. Scientists use pressurized containers to collect and transport them. They redefine what it means to be an extremophile, pushing the known boundaries of life itself. The central challenge for any organism living under extreme pressure is maintaining the integrity of its proteins. Proteins are the workhorses of the cell, long chains of amino acids that fold into precise, intricate, three-dimensional shapes. It is this specific shape that determines their function, acting like a key fitting into a lock. High pressure exerts a powerful force that favors smaller volumes, encouraging water molecules to invade the inner cavities of proteins and causing them to unfold or denature. This is catastrophic for the cell, as a denatured protein is little more than a useless string of molecules. Deep-sea life, therefore, has had to evolve proteins that can resist this relentless assault. Deep-sea organisms have accomplished this through subtle but critical changes in their protein structures. Their proteins tend to be more compact and stable than those of their surface-dwelling counterparts. They have fewer internal cavities for water to infiltrate and often possess a stronger internal framework of chemical bonds that help hold their shape together. These are not radical redesigns, but rather a series of small cumulative reinforcements, like adding extra rivets and supports to a bridge. The result is a protein that is more resilient, one that can maintain its functional shape even when squeezed by the weight of several miles of water. Beyond structural modifications, these organisms employ another clever biochemical strategy. They fill their cells with small organic molecules called piezolites, with one of the most important being trimethylamine N-oxide, or TMAO. This remarkable compound works by altering the properties of the water within the cell, effectively pushing water molecules away from the protein surface. This creates a protective, stabilizing shield around the proteins, counteracting the disruptive effects of high pressure and helping them maintain their correct functional shape. It is a form of internal chemical engineering, a molecular solution to a physical problem, and the reason why many deep-sea fish have a distinct, slightly bitter taste. This ability to maintain protein function is the cornerstone of pressure-proof biology. It allows the entire metabolic engine of the cell to run smoothly, from generating energy to repairing damage. Without these specialized proteins and their protective piezolight shields, life in the abyss would be chemically impossible. It is a beautiful example of how evolution operates at the most fundamental levels, tweaking the very molecules of life to conquer seemingly insurmountable environmental challenges. Their DNA contains the blueprint for this resilience, a code for survival written under the immense unyielding pressure of the deep dark. Along volcanic mid-ocean ridges, hydrothermal vents erupt with mineral-rich water, creating oases of life in the abyss. Giant tube worms over 2 meters long thrive here without a mouth or gut, anchored in dense thickets. Their secret is a partnership. Inside their bodies, trillions of chemosynthetic bacteria convert toxic vent chemicals into food. The worms absorb hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide, delivering them to their internal bacteria, which in turn nourish their host. This symbiosis forms a self-contained ecosystem, allowing both partners to flourish where neither could survive alone. In the deep, survival is a collaborative effort, symbiosis unlocking life in the most unlikely places. In the deep's oxygen minimum zone, where oxygen is scarce, the vampire squid reigns. With the lowest metabolic rate of any cephalopod, it floats effortlessly, collecting marine snow with long filaments. Its massive gills and advanced hemocyanin blood extract every possible oxygen molecule from the water. This slow, efficient lifestyle lets it thrive where others suffocate. The vampire squid is a master of adaptation, surviving at the very edge of possibility. Even in near anoxia, life finds a way to quietly conquer the deep. Deeper into the abyss, sunlight vanishes, and so does the energy that powers most life. Here, life is cut off from photosynthesis, forced to innovate in the cold, crushing dark. Scientists once thought the deep was lifeless, but discoveries of thriving, sunless ecosystems changed everything. Life here relies on two strategies: chemosynthesis, making food from chemicals, and bioluminescence, creating light from within. These adaptations rewrite the rules, allowing complex communities to flourish in the eternal night. In the abyss, nature finds new ways to nourish and illuminate life. This is the story of a world powered by the planet's own chemistry. In 1977, scientists discovered hydrothermal vents teeming with life, giant tube worms, clams, and shrimp thriving in total darkness. These ecosystems are powered by chemosynthesis. Bacteria and archaea convert toxic hydrogen sulfide into energy, forming the base of the food web. Animals like tube worms and clams host these microbes within their bodies, gaining nourishment directly from chemical reactions. This partnership allows life to flourish in a toxic, sunless world. The discovery of chemosynthesis proved life can exist without sunlight, even in the most extreme environments. These deep-sea chemical gardens reveal a parallel tree of life, rooted in the Earth's own energy. Life's ingenuity knows no bounds. In the abyssal dark, life creates its own light, bioluminescence. Over 90% of deep-sea creatures glow, using light for communication, hunting, and defense. The chemistry is simple. Luciferin and luciferase react, producing cold, efficient light. Predators lure prey. Prey escape with flashes, and some animals camouflage themselves with counter-illumination. Bioluminescence is also a language of love, with unique light patterns signaling mates. In the silent dark, these living lights are the voices and stars of a hidden universe. Life conquers the night by becoming its own beacon. The gulper eel, a deep-sea specialist, is little more than a mouth in the darkness. Its enormous, hinged jaw and distensible stomach let it swallow prey larger than itself, vital in a world of rare meals. At the tip of its tail, a glowing lure attracts curious prey straight into its cavernous mouth. The gulper eel's minimalist body conserves energy, lacking scales and strong muscles. It is a swimming digestive system, perfectly adapted to the abyss's scarcity. Extreme conditions breed extreme solutions, strange yet perfectly suited to the deep. Descending to the abyssal plains, we find life adapted to a world without sunlight. The blobfish became an internet sensation for its gelatinous appearance out of water. In its natural habitat, it looks quite different. The blobfish's flesh allows it to achieve neutral buoyancy without a gas-filled swim bladder. It simply sits and waits for edible matter to drift by. Nearby we find the yeti crab. This crustacean is named for its hairy claws covered in bacteria. The yeti crab lives near vents, and it waves its claws through the chemical-rich water. This provides the bacteria living on its bristles with nutrients to grow. When hungry, it scrapes the bacteria off its claws, giving it a renewable food source. The blobfish and the yeti crab showcase solutions for survival without sunlight. In the deep abyss, life's creativity knows no limits. Despite centuries of exploration, the deep sea remains the last uncharted frontier. We've mapped Mars and the Moon with greater detail than our own ocean floor. More than 80% of the ocean remains unmapped, unobserved, and unexplored. This vast expanse holds countless secrets. The map of our world is still profoundly incomplete. The primary reason is the immense difficulty of the task. The crushing pressure, absolute darkness, and sheer scale make it incredibly difficult to study. Light cannot penetrate the depths, and radio waves are quickly absorbed. We cannot simply scan the ocean floor from the surface. To create detailed maps, we must send specialized vessels. This lack of a map has profound implications for our understanding of the planet. The ocean floor plays a critical role in regulating our climate. Without knowing what is down there, we are missing a huge piece of the puzzle. The discovery of chemosynthetic life at hydrothermal vents opened a new avenue of inquiry into how life on Earth began. The existence of thriving communities in the deep, dark environment of hydrothermal vents has offered a compelling alternative to the warm pond theory. These vents provide water, organic molecules, and a powerful energy source, protected from the early Earth's harsh ultraviolet radiation. This has led to the deep-sea vent hypothesis, proposing that the first cells could have formed within the porous, mineral-rich structures of these underwater chimneys. Could the spark of life have ignited in the crushing pressure and darkness of the abyss? The organisms that live in the deep today may hold clues in their DNA, remnants of this primordial world, piecing together a story that began nearly 4 billion years ago. The abyss may be the very place where our story began. While we have identified many of the incredible creatures that inhabit the deep sea, our understanding of how they interact with one another and their environment is still in its infancy. We have a collection of amazing species, but we don't yet have a complete picture of the ecosystem itself. How does the deep-sea food web truly function? We know that marine snow is a primary food source, but we are only just beginning to understand the complex cycles of boom and bust, and how events at the surface, thousands of meters above, can impact the communities living in the abyss months or even years later. The intricate connections that bind this dark world together remain largely a mystery. How do these sparse and slow-moving creatures find each other across vast, empty distances to reproduce? Without this baseline knowledge, we cannot possibly know how to protect these fragile ecosystems from the growing impacts of climate change, deep-sea mining, and pollution. The health of these deep ecosystems could have a direct and profound impact on our planet's climate, but the exact mechanisms are still poorly understood. Piecing together this complex ecological puzzle is a monumental task, one that requires long-term observation and a holistic approach. The future of deep-sea exploration, and our ability to answer these profound questions, is inextricably linked to the development of new technology. The challenges of pressure, darkness, and distance are immense, and overcoming them will require a new generation of tools that can take us deeper, keep us there for longer, and allow us to observe this hidden world in ways that are less invasive and more comprehensive. The next great era of discovery in the abyss will be driven not just by bravery but by innovation in robotics, imaging, artificial intelligence, and material science, pushing the boundaries of what is possible. A key area of development is in autonomous underwater vehicles, or AUVs. Future AUVs will be smarter, equipped with artificial intelligence that allows them to make their own decisions during a dive, identifying interesting features and adapting their mission plans in real time without human intervention. Fleets of these coordinated robotic explorers could map vast areas of the seafloor far more quickly and efficiently than a single vessel can today. They will also be able to hover silently and unobtrusively for months at a time, creating long-term observatories that can monitor the slow-motion life of the deep without disturbing it, capturing the full story of this patient world. We are also on the cusp of a revolution in biological sampling and analysis. New omics technologies like genomics and proteomics will allow us to study the abyss without ever removing an organism from its environment. A simple water sample can contain traces of environmental DNA or eDNA shed by countless creatures. By sequencing this eDNA, we can get a snapshot of the biodiversity in an area, identifying species we have never even seen. This non-invasive approach will be crucial for studying fragile ecosystems and understanding the full diversity of microbial life, which forms the foundation of the deep-sea world. Ultimately, each dive brings new questions. The more we learn, the more we realize how much we have yet to discover. The deep abyss is a constant source of wonder, a reminder that our planet still holds profound mysteries. The application of AI, robotics, and advanced genetic tools will undoubtedly lead to discoveries that we can currently only dream of, revealing new life forms, new ecosystems, and new insights into the workings of our planet. The journey into the deep is far from over. In many ways, it has only just begun, promising a future filled with exploration, innovation, and awe. Our journey into the deep abyss reveals a world that is a living library of nature's most profound lessons. The inhabitants of this realm offer a powerful perspective on survival. They teach us that life's tenacity lies in quiet resilience and breathtaking innovation. The first lesson is humility. The deep ocean reminds us of the limits of our knowledge. The second lesson is ingenuity. In the absence of sunlight, life created its own. Finally, the deep sea teaches us about connection. This hidden world is an integral part of the Earth system, reminding us that we are all part of one interconnected biosphere. As our journey concludes, we are left with a profound sense of wonder. For every species we have identified, there are surely hundreds more awaiting discovery. We have learned that life can thrive without sunlight, that it can withstand pressures that crush steel, and that it can paint the eternal night with its own living light. The deep ocean is an invitation to continue exploring the last great frontier on our own planet. The silent, dark world below is not a void to be feared, but a universe of possibility to be explored. The creatures of the abyss have mastered these principles over millions of years, creating a world that is at once alien and deeply inspiring. It is a constant reminder that our planet is more complex, more creative, and more wondrous than we can ever fully comprehend. It beckons us to look deeper, to ask bolder questions, and to never lose our capacity for awe in the face of the unknown.